Brick Joe said to me that Bino's Yankees were done, and they were not done, Bry.
I think everybody proclaimed them done when it was 6-1. It didn't look like they were going to be able to keep up with Toronto's offense, which they had in all series. But then again, Eric Judge, he got off the mat and he delivered the big blow. And Chaz Chisholm, for all his faults, he came through.
Are you watching?
Their bullpen stopped them.
Bryce Harper, are you watching? You overrated, broken down 31-year-old, panders to the fans in Philadelphia. Are you watching? Are you watching, Kyle Schwarber? Are you watching the shortstop that led the National League in hitting this year, whose next clutch hit will be his first? Are you guys watching?
They might be watching.
I mean, the Yankees.
All of them.
Yeah. The Yankees showed some guts last night. And then there's the kid with the Tennessee tie, Cal Raleigh, who last night hit a ball to a guy with a shirt on, proclaiming hit 61 to me. And then the guy put a shirt on after he caught 61, hit 62 to me, like it was out of wrestling or something. I mean, the baseball playoffs have been fun, but that's not why we're here. We're here today to talk about the beauty and the glory and the fun of another major college football weekend, which is upon us. Now, Watson Brown's going to join us through the timeout. And Watson is going to We're going to get into the college football weekend to be. Bobby Katrina's in the house. I'm going to Andrew's physical therapy today, and I'm seeing Mary Michael Jordan, who is the Michael Jordan of the spine. And one thing that I'm looking forward to is getting a neck brace over there. So, Mike Andrews, if you're listening, I'm coming for the neck brace this afternoon when we're doing physical therapy. Sean Sinclair, Bino Jeff Henderson has penned a heartfelt piece regarding the Sugar Vols who are going to be honored this weekend, all weekend long, and the 1990 Tennessee Volunteers are going to be honored this weekend as well on the campus. They're going to be honored together Friday night in a function put on by the university. Sean Sinclair, the 85 Sugar Vols, what do they mean to you, and why do they resonate 40 years later?
Well, I'll tell you, both of those teams mean a lot to me. 85, that was my freshman year at UT. I came from the Washington, D.C. area, not knowing a person. The day I moved into Hess Hall was my first step into the state of Tennessee. Met some wonderful people, but that year particularly, we were on quarters at that time, and I grew up a Nebraska fan, and so that as we were on quarters, football season started before we checked into school, and that's for you old heads out there, and that's because most of the dorms didn't have air conditioning, and so they wanted the heat of the summer to dissipate so that we could move in and when it was a little cooler. So anyway, I watched the first game I ever watched was in 1985 on TV. A Terry Donahue led, I believe, UCLA team in Tennessee. We tied, and that game didn't move the needle for me all that much, to be quite honest with you. It was a tie. Okay. Then there was for whatever reason, I believe there was an off week, and I moved in. My parents drove me down and started classes. And I just happened to be in Hess Hall on the first floor. Wonderful guys I met there, most of them from Saudi Daisy, Rusty Gray, Pat Hunt. You know who you guys are. And just wonderful guys. A couple guys from Elizabethton, Bart, and I can't remember the other guy, but nonetheless. I woke up the morning of the Auburn game. I knew Auburn was number one. I am a sports fan, and so I knew they were number one. But my room was situated there as you look out toward the Humanities building. So the main drag, which you could drive a car on at that time. I woke up a little late and looked out the window, and the leaves were falling. Not all around, like Robert Plant said, but nonetheless, I looked out and there were people dressed in orange walking up and down. And that was my first experience. And then I went over to Presidential Courtyard and had breakfast or, whatever. And I was just taken in by the morning was beautiful. The people were excited. Number one Auburn with Bo Jackson was coming in. I had student tickets. I was not a manager at this time. And I just became captivated. Now, I grew up, Go Big Red, Nebraska. And by the end of that night, I changed that to Go Big Orange. I went down with my roommate. We watched the game. We watched the Sugar Vols just totally make Bo Jackson quit, which is what he did. He quit. He took himself out of the game, whether it was Kelly Ziegler, Marco Vanek, Richard Cooper, Darren Miller, on and on and on. Those guys, Terry McDaniel, Victor Peppers, Brian Hunt on the defense. They made him quit. And sitting in the stands and taking in all that pageantry, I changed Go Big Red to Go Big Orange. And then my other moment was, in that game and the other game, starting long-winded, but just watching so much, watching that orange, which you didn't see all the time, watching the fanaticism, because Neyland Stadium's way bigger than Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska, way bigger, way more pageantry, way more color. It just blew Lincoln away. And I was fascinated by it. And watching, the only thing I can say is watching Tony Robinson throw the ball was majestic. Just the way he threw the deep ball to Anthony Miller, Joey Clinkscales, Swanson, Eric Swanson, watching Keith Davis, William Howard run the ball, just became hypnotic, really. And I fell in love with him. And then Tony gets hurt, obviously. And then my next big memory was, we used to call it the UC. My daughter goes to UT now, and I guess they call it the Union. But when you and I were in school, we called it the University Center, the UC, and they had a restaurant or cafeteria on the bottom, Smokies, I guess.
Smokies, that's right.
And I remember the weekend of the Kentucky game, and we had tied the we had a lackluster game against Wake Forest. I think we tied Georgia Tech. I think it took Carlos Revez field goal to do that, if I'm not mistaken. We were limping our way, and we were playing Kentucky up in Lexington. And I was alone, and I was in Smokies, and I was having lunch, I guess. The game was on maybe a closed circuit or something there, piped in. And Daryl Dickey came to be the quarterback. And, again, I wasn't a manager, so I didn't know anything. I don't even think I knew I didn't know who his dad was, frankly. But I watched there, and I spent over an hour watching the game in that cafeteria. And I think we just totally dismantled them with Daryl Dickey at quarterback. And that's when my fandom was solidified. So long soliloquy there. I'm sorry. I know I'm very boring. But that team means a lot to me. 90 means a lot to me because I was a manager on that team. Those guys, I don't wear it because I don't deserve to wear it, but they gave me the second of my SEC championship rings that I have in my bedroom. Again, I don't wear it. I didn't earn it, but I got one. I appreciate it. And so those guys mean a lot to me as well. So anyway, I know you got a break coming up, but I just wanted to tell you how much those fellas, those coaches, those support staff, they really made me want to be a Tennessean, even though I was not born there. They were kind enough to graft me to the tree, and I will be forever grateful.
And Bino wrote a real nice kind of a love letter for the 85 teams, why he appreciates them over at tclub.team. I'd encourage you to go and read it. It talks about the unexpected success of that year and how they just kind of lit the place on fire and lit the campus on fire. And Sean, it's hard for sportsmen like us to not get sports fans when you come into an environment like that to not get swept up in that, right? I mean, what the 85 team did, it's hard not to get swept up into that, isn't it? When you're on that campus as an 18-year-old kid.
I think it's impossible because you and I both, you with Penn State and your family, my family's not my family is not sports inclined. They like the Chiefs and the Royals, but college means nothing to them. Believe it or not, nobody cares. That nobody cared about Missouri football at all. Nobody. Maybe Kansas basketball, Nebraska football, Oklahoma in the Midwest. But so I gravitated toward Nebraska. I lived in Omaha. My stepdad was stationed there, and so I caught that fever, and they were great. You have Penn State. Come on. But to come down here, I will say Tennessee is better than Nebraska. I can't speak for Penn State. It maybe just be different. But you're right. It's impossible to be swept up because I think one of the tenets that Bino espoused in his essay was that unexpected success is the best success.
Yep.
Because when you're supposed to be number one, like Texas this year, all their fans are disappointed. They can still make it to the playoffs. I doubt it, but they could. But unexpected success, Bruce Pearl, the Sugar Vols, that will always echo in our memories. And it's impossible. Robbie Scott, another defensive lineman, Chris White, another one. Chris White, what a story! I mean, doesn't hardly even play for 4 years, 3-4 years, whatever. Is thrown into the mix as a starter, leads the country in interceptions, becomes a first-team All-American. I mean, those kind of stories with that team were just the Darryl Dickey, William Howard, Keith Davis, I think was a freshman running back from Nashville, maybe Overton, maybe if memory serves. But there were so many, Bruce Wilkerson, Todd Kirk on the offensive line.
I mean, these are local guys, too.
I can see their faces right now.
Yeah, to your point, Sean, these are a bunch of, and Bino wrote this too, one of the reasons why that team is so beloved in Tennessee lore is they were literally a team of Tennesseans playing for Tennessee. I mean, it's amazing how many in-state kids were on that team and had an impact. And then you had guys like this Chef Powell guy who shows up kind of at the end of the year in that Miami game, who was a track athlete from, I want to say, like William and Mary. And they gave him the ball. And I mean, this guy ran like his life depended on it. And he ran away from 2 or 3. I was looking at Miami's roster the other day. 2 or 3 NFL Hall of Fame guys were in Miami's on Miami's defense. And he turned a corner on them like they weren't even there. Anyway, Watson Brown's going to join us.
Well, he did. Yeah. Last thing really quick is that, not only that, not only Harry Galbraith, how could I forget him?
Moving the markers.
Tennessee from Clarksville. I mean, another guy,
John Bruin.
Boy, do we love
Darryl
Harry
Smith.
Love. But anyway, that team was a quilt of overachievers.
Yep.
And that is, I'm not here to say that Tennesseans are overachievers, but Tennesseans work hard. They keep their mouths shut.
That's who we are.
They volunteer for stuff.
Yep.
And that's why you got the name. That's not a picky name. Come on, who would name your team? But they earned that name, and I say they, not we. They earned that name. Because they stuck their neck out for people that needed help, and they went above and beyond the call of duty.
W. Lynn, as crazy as he is, and he's nuttier than a fruitcake. No offense, W. Lynn. But he doesn't use name Vols. He says volunteers. And he says put some respect on the name. We come back on the other side. Put some respect on Watson Brown's name because he joins us on Wednesdays. It's a Wednesday with Watson. He's going to take us under wings. I'm trying to make sense of the SEC this year. Unexpected success. I mean, could the Vols end up at the end of the year if things shake right, winning this thing? And then somebody brought up to me the other day, we're in such a different era. Why would you even want to? Why would you even want to do that? But we'll come back. Upon the continuance, it's a Wednesday with the great Watson Brown right after this.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Fall has officially arrived, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's heating and HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Piper Inch Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Piper Inch at 865-264-8090 or book online at piperinch.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. One thing we've done this week, and I did it today in the blog over at tclub.team, is I give Nico his flowers for the way he played the other day. And, you know, if he didn't leave us the way he did, and I didn't think his father was going to get to enjoy some of these, because I'm not trying to be spiteful, but I would send him a gift box for my friends at Simpson's Meats. I would send it all the way out there to him in California. And I'm going to tell you something. They would enjoy a bountiful feast. And I guarantee you those folks, with the warrior mentality that they have, I guarantee you those guys could kill some steak. Watson Brown, how do you plead to that as I bring you on a Wednesday with Watson? If I sent them some of that incredible Simpson's Meat, some of the finest steaks they'd ever put in their mouths, what do you think they would do?
They would eat it and immediately be calling back to get some more sent to them.
I'm telling you right now.
I can tell you right now, and they've got enough money. There's no doubt about that. So, no, you can't. I've said it all the time. You can't eat some of their meat and then not go back and get it again. It's an impossibility.
Watson Brown, presented by our friends Simpson's Meats. I'll tell you about them momentarily. Watson, what's going through your mind? The sport of college football, we've been just marveling at it the last couple of days on the air because what else can you do? It's never been more unpredictable than it is right now. You look at the league and you try to make sense of it, and we're midway through the thing, and I got more questions than I do answers on some of these teams. And so let's just go one by one here. But first, let's begin with giving Nico his flowers. How do we account for that? Neuheisel's son said he didn't even know how to use the headset. He said half the time I wouldn't even get into the play into him. He was just out there improvising and running around. Did you think, Watson, after watching Nico here, that he had that in him to run like that?
Well, I hadn't seen that. I never say somebody don't have it in them, but I hadn't seen that yet. I hadn't seen that looseness and just playing. And it's the first time I've ever seen him throw in rhythm and throw on time and not have a little bit of a hang before he lets a ball go. And he just played. He balled out. And I don't know that just you young guys, what the heck, that are coaching him and just, everything's falling apart. Let's just go play. But we did see the ability that we wanted to see for years prior. That's exactly what we wanted to see out of him. And I've always seen toughness in him. He's a tough kid. He'd get up and go again. That's not been his problem. And I saw that again Saturday. But he was loose and playing. And you saw the abilities. You saw what we wanted to see, Tony, in the couple of years prior to that.
Take me down to Austin. This guy is so celebrated. Your brother was there for forever. The spotlight burns so bright in Austin, Texas. I don't think people, unless they've been around it or know people that have been inside of it, and I do know some folks that have been inside of it, they say it is a different deal. The expectations on these kids, And they've always been, a program that takes care of their own. So from that perspective, there's a great sense of pride in being a part of that thing. Is that offensive line or is that kid at this point when you watch Texas play?
Yeah, it's a combination of all three. I think the third thing is top plays he's running and play calling and that. I never thought he was going to be as good as everybody said, and I don't think he's as bad as everybody says now. He's a young player, not young, but inexperienced player, and I don't like the way they try to throw so much downfield stuff with him, and I would use his legs more than they do, and I just don't think he's being used proper. And I said it earlier, I don't get on coaches much, you know me. But I thought Sark handled him very poorly in the spring and summer. When all of a sudden it's his turn to be it, Sark should have immediately be talking about, give this guy time now. He's not there yet. He's not played yet.
Yep.
He's not had all this thrown on him. Let's give him time. I've got to help him along through some of this. If he had done that all summer, I don't think it'd been where it was. He didn't do that. He just let the praise and the pat on the backs just go and go and go to the point it was near an impossibility to do what was expected of him. And don't tell me that the pressure doesn't build when you're not doing well. And he's at one of those 10, 12 schools, Tony, that, man, if you're a hero, you're Superman, and if you're a goat, you're the biggest goat in the world.
It's a tough place.
Goat in the wrong way, not the good way. There are schools like that, and we all know those traditional 12. So many schools that are out there.
Yeah.
And you've got to perform, and there's just a lot to go around. They need to calm down, do a little bit more what he does best, get his percentage up by throwing different forms of passes to let him get confidence. And they just keep trying to throw it downfield, and it makes the offensive line even look worse too because they're holding the ball so long.
Yeah, that offensive line, I mean, he got pummeled by that Florida team the other day. I mean, you can't question his toughness either because he kept getting up. After a while, I would have laid on that field after a while if I were him.
I thought that was his best game because he got killed.
Yes.
He got eat up, and he'd get up and he'd go again.
Yes.
And he'd get up and he'd go again, and he hung in there. So I don't think he was near what they made him to be, and I don't think he's near as bad as everybody's trying to make him now. And I think he's going to end up being a really good college quarterback, but they have got to do more things to help him, Tony. I've been a quarterback coach all my life and made a lot of mistakes coaching quarterbacks. And the one thing you've got to do is not just tell them how good they are. You've got to let them become good, and you've got to do things to help them and let them gain confidence by the way you call a game. And you absolutely got to do what that person does best. The offense has to work around a quarterback in the today's world. And I think he's an athletic style quarterback. I don't think he's a drop back style quarterback. And that's Sark stuff. So I don't think he fits exactly what they're doing.
What's funny to me, too, is thinking back to Nico last year. If Tennessee would have run the offense they're running now, which they tailor-made around this kid they have because they had to. So we're going to tighten things up, tighten splits, let you throw the ball in the middle of the field, get your ball out of your hands quickly, and then we're going to let you chuck it up every once in a while. And then you got a guy like this Brazel guy on the outside that's having a world-class heater year so far, and it's working out well. I wonder if Tennessee would have done, and if Texas, because we had a caller the other day say this to us, if Texas was to modify their offense and allow Arch to have success, if Tennessee would have done that with Nico last year, would he have been more successful, do you think?
Nico went through what Arch is going through right now last year. I think they could have run the same offense, and Nico would have had a really good year this year. Because he needed that year to get better and to gain confidence, and then in the off season it just takes off. And they could. We all as coaches could think back and have done this a little to make this kid a little better or that better. That's all great, but he was close. He was close last year. He wasn't there. I put him between that BC range but it was time, and then he takes off and he leaves. So that's on him, because I thought it Tennessee came out of it fine. It's hurt Nico. It's hurt him bad, and only because if he'd have stayed, he'd have been ready to roll.
It's a Wednesday with Watson Brown, presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. Great gift boxes available. Look, if you want to shop in bulk, they've got half and quarter cows. They've got a store, which is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, out off Lovell Road. They also, besides steaks, have great burgers, sausages, roast. They've got chicken there. Variety of local offerings at their butcher shop, celebrating the best of our Tennessee community, from milk to honey to jam to eggs and so much more. You name it, they've got it. And the more I think about it, the more we ought to send Nico a gift box. I think that'd be a good thing. Let the warrior prince celebrate. Speaking of princes, I'll tell you, a real prince has all of a sudden appeared on Tennessee's schedule. I guess it was predictable that Sam Pittman wasn't going to make this week, and they were going to get rid of him in the off week. That's kind of the rhythm of college football when they decided to bring him back for another year. And here comes Bobby Petrino. Cinco, share with Watson Brown. We were talking off the air. You think this could be a high-scoring affair? You think Tennessee's defense could be in for a little bit of a tough day? Share it with us. Sean Sinclair, is he there?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, buddy.
I was muted.
Go ahead, buddy.
No, I do think Tennessee wins the game, and it wouldn't surprise me if they cover. But there's one thing that I just don't like about this matchup, and it's the fact that their big quarterback Green is a very effective, elusive runner, much like I think it was Matt Jones they had several years ago. Probably a better passer. But the thing I don't like about this is that against our linebackers and our safeties, it somewhat scares me. I think aside from Arion Carter, I think we're average to below average athletically at safety and at linebacker. I think our pursuit angles through the first 5 games have just not been great. I don't think the tackling in open field has been great. A couple of moments, Hood and Boo Carter have had some moments, but and the other thing is, I just past couple of weeks I've just not seen our defensive linemen set an edge, and I think that guy has a way of extending drives, picking up first downs when you think you want to get off on third down, and I really have an issue. Now the other side of it is, being old like I am means you've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of Bobby Petrino, and I have a hard time believing that his defense is going to rally for him. I mean, that you're talking about one of the all-time creeps in college sports, and Bobby Petrino. And all you got to do is it's not my opinion. The receipts are on Wikipedia right now.
Hey,
he is.
All right, let's go. Let's stay on the field. I'm trying to keep Cinco in line. I told Cinco earlier. I said I can tell today's gonna be a day where I'm have trouble keeping him in the guardrails here. Because I think he just went over the guardrail there. Let's talk about between the lines, though. What kind of, with that quarterback and what they're going to do to Tennessee offensively, is there a concern that they will score some points here in this game and make some plays on Tennessee?
You talking to me?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, because they're a good offense. This is the best offense Tennessee's played by far, in my opinion. I don't think Tennessee's played any just outstanding offensive teams yet. So the heat's on them. The defense is not very good. They don't run well. I can go through it. It's amazing when head coaches leave. You either weren't tough enough or you were too tough. It's one of the two always when a coach gets fired. Well, coordinators, when you let coordinators go, well, we need to simplify, or we got to get more aggressive. So I saw where Bobby said we got to simplify. I don't think simplifying is going to work in Knoxville. I don't think they're very athletic on the defense, but I do think they can score points. I've gone against Bobby quite a bit, head coach to head coach at places, and And he's always, in my opinion, trying to defend him. He's a big play guy. He's not one to want to eat the clock like Alabama's doing right now, or Vanderbilt's doing, or whatever. He's a big play guy. He don't mind punting 2 or 3 times, but he wants to score, and he gets a lot of big plays off of that. And so that's what you're going to face with him. He's going to throw it down the field now. And then the second piece is exactly what Sean said. This quarterback is maybe as talented as any in the league. I mean, he's big and strong. He can run really well, and he's got a very good arm, strong arm, accurate arm. When he's accurate, he's real accurate.
Yeah. If
he's off, he'll miss. But when he's accurate, it is flat. You go, whoa, what a throw that was. So yeah, I'm 100% with Sean. The only way Arkansas can win this game, only way, is very high scoring game.
What scares me about Sean, that kid at quarterback, and Watson talks about it, is he's the type of guy, and he did it to us last year, that'll keep his eyes up and look to make plays downfield. And man, our safeties at times, Cinco, really can get lost. I mean, that's a kind of a weakness on this team that bears watching in the last half of this regular season. And they're going to get really tested with some of these quarterbacks we're about to see. And he's the first test, Sean.
Well, he is, but I mean, let's say you had Ricky Gibson, you had Jermon McCoy, you had Colton Hood, all healthy. That's 2 first-rounders, but even those guys and Deion Sanders, if you're giving a quarterback and I think Coach would agree, if you give a quarterback 5 and 6 seconds, it's impossible to cover a legitimate SEC receiver for that long. He's going to make something happen, and I just. I just not sure that those are favorable matchups. Arian Carter can match up with anybody in the country athletically. However, I'm not convinced he's instinctual as a linebacker. I don't think pursuit angles are his strength. Now, when he gets you, he meets you hard. There's no doubt about it. But he can be confused easily, just from my perspective. So I think it's a tough one.
What kind of stuff will Tennessee see from Petrino now that he's got the big headset as well, so he can really do stuff offensively, maybe that even Sam Pittman didn't want him to do? What kind of things will he be able to do to our linebackers, Watson, eye candy wise, things like that, to kind of pull them out of position?
Well, that's his bag. He's kind of an eye candy guy. Fake this guy, fake this one coming around, then throw deep crossing routes and deep post routes and stuff like that. That's him. I think he'll be more wide open than ever before, because I think Coach Pittman was more of a
right.
Hey, we got to help this defense. We've got to keep the ball. I think, get ready. I think it'll be a more wide open look than what you've seen. And 2 things with quarterbacks: if you let them sit in the pocket past 3 seconds, they can hurt you. But even worse than that, when you let one get on the outside, it becomes a quarterback plus. And now he can see with nothing in his face. And if he's pretty good on his feet like this kid is, he's got the run and the pass. So you've got to contain him. And when you have one like that you have to contain by pressing the pocket. When you press the pocket, you're not getting free. You're just pressing it. You're never getting – it cuts the sacks down, and it cuts the time you get there down. But you got to stay in your lane, and you're very aware of a bounce out. That's – if you're rushing as a 3 technique inside and he wants to come up inside, your outside arm, you've got to make that play. And so you're not free rushing the passer. I hated playing athletic quarterbacks that could run and throw through my years. And because there's just not a real answer to it. You try to play man coverage and he gets loose. I mean, it creates more zone coverage because of that, because when they're running with their backs to you and he gets loose, man, you're going a ways. The first thing to get to him is one of those safeties that's free back there, whether it's 1 or 2 of them. And so, yeah, there's no doubt the hardest thing to stop in college football today is a quarterback that is a legitimate run pass guy and has really good instincts. I think this kid has all 3 of those.
What's interesting to me, too, we were talking yesterday with Dudley Dawson from down there. He was telling us that, in this NIL era, And you wore the AD hat, right? So,
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? The Walton family, the Walmart people, are giving a lot more money to Missouri right now than they are to Arkansas's football program. Now, I don't
gotta get that changed.
You better get that changed. Like
somebody better get that changed.
Like, I don't know who's responsible for that.
Changed.
Yes. And that is going to be incumbent on the head coach. I want you to speak about this now. Head coaches in these deals now, these athletic directors or fundraisers, sure. These head coaches cannot be afraid of these big boosters. They've got to go ask for the money, don't they, Watson?
100%. That becomes one of their top jobs. Is they have got to be responsible in two pieces. It's what I always said. I wouldn't want to be on the NFL level. I wouldn't want to be the head coach and the general manager. But they have got to. Now they've got something the NFL got on them. Is they've got to go get this money, and they've also then got to decide who gets it and how much. And it's a different world for a head coach. It's a complete different world. And I think it in time, it's going to backfire in some ways, because there's going to be some upset kids that didn't get what this one's getting, and he's the one playing. The other one ain't playing good. I thought I've already seen that once last year at Florida State. I think that's exactly what happened to them. I think the locker room just fell apart over bringing in the quarterback from Oregon State, and then he's not playing well, and then other guys don't play well, and then they kind of protect themselves and quit playing when the season starts to fade away. It creates too much selfishness to me. And man, the head coach, he's got to be the man to watch that. Money speaks, guys. The one thing that I just cannot, it's hard for me to take in my heart and my soul is I've grown up, I've gone against competitively. I've always had such respect for these programs that have been so good for so long. And Tennessee being one of those, and Alabama and Georgia and Southern Cal and Notre Dame, and I can name them, Texas and Oklahoma.
Arkansas is there,
and
right?
That is now not the case anymore.
Yes, it's crazy.
And I don't like that.
No,
I just don't like the pride of that. And now it's money. Texas Tech, Duke, Miami, Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt, Indiana. I can keep going. There are schools now that have taken a step that they've not ever really taken before. And it's because they've got the money. And give the coach credit. He's evidently handling it right. So it's a different world. I don't like the world. It's the thing that bothers me. I'm all about kids getting what they can get, okay. But programs and all of this now, we're having to look at it in such a different way, because all of a sudden money is the number one thing, not the pride and the tradition of the place that was built by so many players, so many administrators, so many coaches through the years. Just think back about your own program at Tennessee, and this coach, through this coach, this player, through this player, through this player. And now that's not the number one thing. And it's not. It is not the number one thing. Money is now the number one thing.
Moving along.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get off on
Listen, we got some money games this weekend. This Alabama bunch, I'm going to tell you something. You're right about this Ty Simpson guy. You're right about our guy. You're right about this Ty Simpson guy. Because I saw him week one, and I thought a couple of my people that were saying this guy's going to get replaced after week one were right. Turns out you were right about him. Alabama at Missouri, it's a noon start, which is 11 o'clock their time, and 11 o'clock Alabama time. Really odd, but a noon Eastern time start over on ABC. Watson, is Alabama in danger there, or is Missouri about to get on the field with a team of a different stripe, and they're not ready for that jelly? Which one?
Other than Kentucky, you're in danger every time you go out this year. I don't think we have a dominant team. I don't. I think we got a bunch of teams that are very close to each other. And that's why I think there's going to keep being losses. It's just fixing to start. Everybody's had their little give-me games. And now all of a sudden it's time. And you got to go play every week. And this was no different to me than any of them. I'm telling you, on any given day, you better be ready to play. Tennessee goes to Mississippi State, and they had to play good,
A hell of a
especially
game.
in that second half to win that game.
Yep.
They had to play good, or they're sitting here with a loss. You better buckle up your chin strap now, because I don't think that there's very many gimme games. The only team that's not any good is Kentucky. They're not very good.
Is that
But
Perbola guy?
everybody else is capable of beating you on that day. And that's counting Alabama and Georgia and Texas and whoever you want to put in there.
Well, you can
name another game next week, and I'm going to tell you it's going to be the same issue. Yes, Alabama's got their hands full, man. They've got their hands full. I wouldn't bet on that game right now. I think you could flip a coin. I think it's going to be a great football game.
Words leaking out that Mateer's been going full bore in practice for Oklahoma. I don't know how much of a mistake this is or isn't. I'm not inside that kid's body, and that'd
be amazing to me.
Well, he's going. They say I saw somebody last night.
I've lost quarterbacks to broken hands, Tony, and that to be back this quick would absolutely. I'll be amazed if he goes out there and plays. If he does, and he plays good, he can't have strength yet.
They say he's going to do it.
You just possibly cannot. I broke my hand in baseball sliding into a catcher against Kentucky, and I'm telling you, it takes a while to get over that. It takes a while to get over that. I'd just be shocked if number one, if he plays, I'll be shocked. Number two, if he does play, I don't think he'll be anywhere close to what he's been.
3:30 Eastern time slot, Oklahoma at Texas. Watson, who is the edge in that game? Let's say Mateer can play. I just don't know how.
If Mateer was well, Oklahoma, but he's not. And so I put it toss-up city. And I think it's going to be this game especially more than maybe Alabama, Missouri, or whatever. This game's going to be off quarterback play. Both defenses are very good. This is going to be off a quarterback play, 100%. A lot of pressure on Arch this week. A whole lot of pressure. I've been in that game twice as an offensive coordinator at Oklahoma, and I'm going to tell you, there's nothing like it. It is bigger than Oklahoma, Nebraska was. It was much bigger than Oklahoma State was. This game through those two states, it's different, and there is a ton of pressure involved in this football game. So Sark better do a good job with Arch this week.
And the crazy thing, too, is they share that border. They share players. They share, the whole thing.
Against each other
just total
360 days a year.
Yeah,
it's
total hate
constant.
deal. Yes. Florida, Texas A&M. Florida's got to do the Texas two-step now. Can they do the two-step? Is Florida good enough to go to A&M and win this game?
I don't think so. I think A&M's pretty good at home. I think they're pretty good. And I've told you, of all the places, and Tennessee would be in that top 5 with me, of all the places that I've gone as a coach or player, A&M is the loudest, not the best atmosphere. I'm not talking about all the pieces that surround that stadium and all that. I'm just talking about when the game starts, the way that stadium is built, it goes straight up, much more so than your old stadiums like Michigan and that. It goes straight up, and it is the loudest place. You cannot get into a deep checkoff system. Impossible to do there. I just don't think Florida can pull it off. I think it's going to be a great game.
Here's my upset
and I'm pulling
special.
for Florida because I'm pulling for Billy, but I just don't think they can pull it off.
Boy, they have a hell of a defense. You talk about a defense that'll flat out hit you, man. That Florida defense, that I still can't get over that.
Florida's legit. If that quarterback had just played better early, Florida wouldn't be in this situation right now.
No, you're right.
They would not. And just with Billy, if he'd have just tried to run it more.
That's right.
I think he thought he had a great quarterback, and he tried to use him to win the games, and it backfired on him. That's all I think it was. I think he believed in that kid so much, and then it backfired on him. And then he said, "Ooh, we got to go a different route. He's just not getting it done." And he did, and it worked.
I'm going to stand with Watson Brown in this. I don't think we're going to – the last 6 weeks of the season, and Cinco and I and Brian are going to get into this with the callers, I don't think we've seen anything like we're about to see the last 6 weeks of the season. And I'm going to tell you who's going to start the party. I'm going to tell you who's going to start the party, Watson. Auburn is going to beat Georgia Saturday night and give them their second loss, which would be the earliest Kirby Smart's endured his second loss. And they're going to be fighting for their playoff lives with a whole bunch of teams that are going to have 2 losses. Texas has 2 losses. several teams are going to incur that second loss way before we thought they were. And this is going to be a crazy stretch drive here with these teams beating on each other. What about my prediction, Auburn over Georgia? Could that happen? Do you believe at Auburn's home field?
If I'm not good at that, but if I had to pick, I pick Auburn. I pick Auburn. I just keep waiting for Hugh to do a good job on offense and find a way, just like Texas with Arch, that they find a way to get Jackson Arnold doing more and more of the things he does best, and get a better run-pass ratio, and just get a little more creative on offense. They've been so just conservative, really, really conservative, like they're protecting Jackson Arnold. You got to do what they do best, but if you go to a way of protecting, then you end up hurting him more because all of a sudden you get in a bunch of long yardage because you're too daggum conservative. And I'm expecting any week, I'm expecting, because Auburn's good on defense now. Auburn is very good on defense, better than they look because the offense just hadn't done it yet. But Auburn's very good, and I just think they've been in the weeds and waiting on this one, and I think they're going to win the game, and I think it'll be very close. But I think they're going to win the game. I don't think Georgia's near defensively what they've been in the past.
Yes, sir. I agree with that. And by the way, college football is announced January 2nd through the 16th as the new transfer window. Watson Brown, you being a former coach and an administrator, what do you think of that? Did they get it right? January the 2nd through the 16th.
I think that's fine, but the thing I think they got right is cutting it to one. You just can't have that. The spring was when all the crap started.
Oh, no question.
That was the crap. That's when they're going behind and getting this one and saying, we'll pay you this. And they're not talking to the kid. They're talking to his agent. It's so easy. It is so easy to do in today's world. They're going to cut out a lot of that because this is still during the season. Oh, don't think it's not starting. It'll start here pretty quick. As it gets later in the year, it's going to start. But at least it's only one time a year. And then there's going to be, to me, a little bit of level of stability once you get to spring practice. You're back like the old days again. You're going to pretty much know what you got.
Hey, Sean, Tennessee go ahead, Brian.
I was going to say, it might be better to have it the last week of January leading up to signing day, because you could have players on teams that are in the playoffs that there could be roster movement on those teams.
In a perfect world, Brian, you could, but the problem is semesters will have already started, and for most schools,
they got to get in front. They got to get in front of these. They got to get them in scoop.
Yeah,
that's the only reason they're doing it where they're doing it, guys.
That's right.
That's the only reason that they would do it, like Brian is saying.
Yes,
they know they can't. It's too late to get them in scoop.
And Sean, last year Tennessee got a safety picked off their team when they weren't even looking. This Jacoby Thomas kid is a really nice player. Had 2 interceptions over the weekend and is having a great year for Miami. And hopefully that stuff, Cinco, gets cut out now. Cinco, what's your thought on the window? Is it enough time, Sean, in your mind?
Well, I think it is. I mean, do they have? If you said it, I didn't catch it. Do they have concessions for longer playing teams, et cetera? Or
yeah, they did last year. They did last year. Yeah, they did. I'm like
Coach. I think you're going to see a lot more people move, simply because if anybody is just even having a hint about it, they're going to have to put their name in the hat and get on out of there. I think it's also good because I don't think coaches. If I was a coach, I wouldn't want somebody straddling the fence through spring football, whether you're going to stay, whether you're going to go. No. I think that's distracting. And so I think the one transfer opportunity, I think it solves a lot of problems.
The initial proposal was January 2 through 11. They decided to throw 4 more days on top of it. Basically, you've got that time to enter the portal, but you can stay in there as long as you want. So if you want to play the long game and wait till after the spring to come out, if you think that's good for you, you can do that. There were 1,000 guys that went into that post-spring portal that Watson was talking about, including a couple of guys that Texas picked out of the portal, like the kid they got from Syracuse, and there was one other one And then Tennessee lost this Thomas guy. Hey, Watson, I was told recently that the offer that Thomas got from Miami was so outlandish that Tennessee just didn't believe his agent. You should never be in that spot. You should never be in that spot when you've done right by a kid in the spring. You just shouldn't be in that spot if your sport's going to be legitimate.
No, and that's again, Tony, what I'm talking about. We've lost all of the pride and tradition, and it's all about money, and I just don't like that. That's been the pageantry of college football. What's made college football grow through all these years is the pageantry of it, the pride in of these certain universities and how they've built this thing, and that's what scares me. How many times y'all hear me say, what's on the side of that helmet absolutely does matter. And I recruited for 40 years, and what's on the side of that helmet did matter. It did matter. I learned real quick. I've only been at one of those type schools, and I wasn't head coach. I was the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma. Man, I learned real quick when I walked in high school, it's different. It was different, but that was earned. That was earned through all the years of all those players and coaches and fans and administrators that built Oklahoma into one of those special places. And now all of a sudden, look at the people that are up there in the top 20 that have never been there before.
Yes, all
and
because
look at
of money.
Miami. Miami may have bought the best team in the country. Will they end up doing it? I don't know. Can he keep his locker room? You'll hold on to your locker room as long as you keep winning. But look at what's on that football team. That defensive line that they've got is the best in the country. It is the best front in football, and it's bought. And I don't mean that in a nasty way.
No,
that's the way it is now. I'm not taking shots at Miami here. Don't get me wrong, but it's about money now first, not about what's on the side of that helmet first.
Wednesday with Watson. I love you. You're my man.
Always an honor, guys. I enjoy being on with you.
You're my man. Have a great day, buddy. Hit fairways and greens today when you get out there. Fairways and greens, my brother.
Not today, but maybe tomorrow.
Fairways and greens next time you get out there, brother.
Fairways and greens.
See you,
Have
Chief.
to now. I can't hit it there as far as I used to. Got to be fairways and greens.
Have a Dwight Gooden. The great Watson Brown.
Love you
one more
guys.
time. Love him. Brian gave me 1 SKU, 2 SKU, 3 SKUs, $1. Offer Watson Brown saying SKU, stand up. And holla.
Hey, I got him to kick off the first SKU.
There you go. We got 3 SKUs. We're going to open the phone lines for you on the other side. I want to remind you, Wednesday with Watson, presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats, a beef brand built on quality. They raise and source their meat on farms from pastures on purpose. They got a tradition that began in 1888 on the great Jim Simpson's farm, who you hear on here. And Jim's got a great accent himself and is a good dude. Steaks, burgers, sausages, roast chickens, they've got you covered. You can go half or quarter cow. You can ship anywhere in the world. And some of you hating on me on Twitter for giving Nico his flowers. Well, you can hate on. You can hate all you want. I mean, we hated on the guy. We're going to give him his flowers, man, when he balled out against Penn State over the weekend. And as somebody called yesterday, I think the guy in Dallas said to us that it was one of the craziest results in 40 years in college football. Just a nutty result. Now, you can read about that at tclub.team or some other stuff up there, but that little factoid is there today, along with Bino's love letter to the 85 team, the Sugar Vols, along with, well, some other interesting stuff. Tomorrow, there's a gentleman in Raleigh who said, Tony, where have your basketball reports been? I got one for the ages coming tomorrow. We go through all the newcomers, how they're doing in camp, what my insiders say is expected of them. I've pinned Y down, and I've gotten some great stuff from him and a few other sources and kind of put it together in one package. And that's about, I think I looked last night, it's like 1,800 words. That'll be our featured piece tomorrow on the blog of record over at tclub.team, on your show of record. As hour number 2 commences, on the other side, fan running today towards the great William Pattison
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka, distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, Living Vol fan, only one place. That's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio Show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
Getting ready to go to our phones, 865-200-5402. How do you guys think these matchups this weekend are going to shake out in the league? I think it's going to be another crazy week in the league. I mean, what happens if Auburn beats Georgia and Georgia has 2 losses already to join Texas with 2 losses already? And what happens if Alabama loses and they incur their second loss already? With a lot of football left to be played. And what's this league going to be like, guys, next year when we go to 9 of these games and we really start beating up on each other? It's pretty fun, isn't it, Sean?
8-4.
I think it's great.
10-2.
I think it's great. I mean, for the ego fan that wants wants the teams to go undefeated, I think I sent you guys something the other day where at first look we had 7 of the top 14 teams in the current rankings in the SEC.
Yes,
I mean I think Ole Miss is 4th.
Yes,
Oklahoma's 5th. That's not Georgia and Alabama. I mean, or Texas. I mean, Tennessee's up there. Missouri is there. Vanderbilt was 20th. So you have, if I'm not mistaken, 8 in the top 20.
And by the way,
that's unreal. I mean, that just makes for compelling weekends because I want to see great football.
Yeah, I was talking with a friend of mine. We were talking about, he was debating whether or not to go to this weekend's game or to stay home and watch. And he goes, I just decided I'm staying home and watching. Because it's just, you can't take your eyes off of it. He said, and I know you guys will have a crazy watch along as you'll be in here with us, Cinco. Saturday, 4-hour Garza Law 5th quarter fan reaction program. we're gonna have two crazy games to watch. We'll have that Georgia game to watch, and we'll have that Florida game with A&M as well. And that, that's going to be just crazy action on Saturday right here in this league. I mean, two games laying right on top of each other, and anything can happen this weekend. I mean, could Arkansas come into Knoxville and win? Sure. If you don't take them seriously, it could. Now, I think with this coach, they will. And Brian had some numbers on Heupel, who's been really good after these off weeks. Heupel's got a pretty good knack about him after these off weeks. So there's just no accounting for what happened, what UCLA did with Penn State. And Sean, look, all that money that Penn State played that Knowles guy, for him to let that kid that looks like a 14-year-old middle school little girl, as Chris Gray said the other day, looked like his sister in middle school. That's got to be one of the most embarrassing results in college football history, that Knowles guy got drugged like that in that game and never adjusted, just got run over.
No, but we've seen that before. I mean, it's completely lopsided before the game started, but you travel across the country, you go to California. There's no way those kids were up for that game. You could tell what they were doing. I mean, it's down at halftime. Even looking at Milk Dud, you could see that they just, okay, well, that's fine. We'll score 3 more touchdowns, and they come out and pop 2 in a row, I think, and then they just couldn't stop UCLA. I think they just ran out of time. They didn't take it seriously. We've done that as a program here, and it bit them. And there's no way that anyone in that program for Penn State thought they were going to lose that game, even during the game.
Oh, no, Sean. When they blocked that kick, I'm sure on their sidelines, they blocked that kick to get within 6. I'm sure they were thinking, we have a whole quarter to play. We've reeled these guys in. We'll probably win by multiple scores. Ricky W., about what's going on in this league in particular, says, this reminds me of the NFL when you had those really great divisions in the early 2000s. You had like the Titans, Steelers, Ravens, or the Steelers, Ravens, and the Bengals. And then he says the Eagles, Cowboys, Giants were all good in that era as well, and they would all just beat on each other. And that is what you have right now in this deal. And it's going to get more and more and more compelling. And Sean, I came to the conclusion last weekend, then we'll go to the phones. I know that Matt's annoyed by me giving Vanderbilt their love on the air. Cinco, that was a mano a mano street fight that Vanderbilt was in with Alabama. Vanderbilt is physical, Sean, on defense. I mean, physical.
Yeah, I think Matt said it yesterday. They're a credible team. I do think there's, I saw something unbecoming for Alabama fans, yelling at Pavia. I mean, still a kid. Pavia is like that was it Marshall something that played at Ole Miss.
Marshall
we've
Henderson.
Seen those guys everyone.
I love those guys.
They run their mouth a lot.
Yep.
But no, Vanderbilt can do it. I'll tell you, you take a look at this weekend schedule and you can laugh. That's fine. Stranger things have happened. Alabama coming off their game last week, and then they go Missouri and Tennessee. Boy, next 2 weeks, that's going to be tough. Oklahoma, Texas. Texas is a very proud program. If Mateer's coming back, that's a dogfight. I want to see what Indiana has as they go to Oregon. I wonder if they're still a poser. Our game is tough. And then the other one that's really intriguing to me, I mean, Georgia Auburn, as you said, you've called your shot. I'm not sure I agree, but it's not unthinkable. But it wouldn't surprise me if South Carolina gets their act together and gives LSU a game. They've got talent down there. I know they're having a disappointing year, but they've got talent.
LSU can't run the football, Sean. And when you can't run the football, man, you're susceptible in any of these games. So, plus they've got a quarterback that I hear has an oblique injury. And there was talk they were going to shut him down, and now it looks like they're not. And who knows? Maybe he had a magic shot, over the holiday.
Speaking of Alabama, they're in a stretch where they've 6 of their 7 opponents are against top 16 teams in the country.
Jeez Louise. Let's go back to our phones.
Now, one exception is South Carolina.
And they're
on the road.
And they're not bad, Bri. South Carolina we know that they're good for one every once in a while under Frankie Jr. Let's get our next call in on our TLD Logistics phone lines. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. Jake from Memphis.
Hey, Jakey, welcome in.
Hope y'all are having a good day. Love the conversation with Watson. Man, Tony, what I would pay to listen to Penn State's version of Negative after that game on Saturday.
Oh, my gosh. Can you imagine? Because every fan base has those guys. I'll tell you, my friends from Pennsylvania that I know, the guys that have come down here for Tennessee games the last several years, Joe Sullivan and Fidanza, and those guys are so sick of Franklin, they can't see straight. And the problem is in modern college football, when you pay somebody that much money, you're stuck with them. But I agree with Matt. I don't think there's any way that James Franklin, and I didn't want to get Watson in the middle of it today, I don't think there's any way that you come back from losing a game like that with your program and have credibility again. It's over for James Franklin there.
Definitely this year for the team. I mean, the writing's on the wall for sure. If you don't mind, Tony, I want to get Sean's insight on this. I know he's a recruiting guy, probably not as much lately, but follows it. And man, this David Gabriel George's guy down in Baylor, in-state running back, is probably not only going to be the best prospect in the country next year, he probably could be the number one prospect this year. And I just wanted to get his thoughts and your and Brian's as well. Who's the last great in-state running back prospect to come out of the state? And I know this kid down in Baylor, he's originally from Canada, but he's been in state for a couple of years now. He's going to be coming out of the state of Tennessee, so I guess you can consider him an in-state prospect. But he seems to be the best running back prospect out of the state of Tennessee in quite some time.
Jalen Hurd.
Just wanted to get y'all.
Jalen Hurd would be. Jalen Hurd comes to mind. Travis Stevens
way better than Jalen Hurd. I mean,
this guy's way better, Brian. But
back in the day, Leroy Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson and Cobb would be where I'm at, and that's 40 years ago. No offense, Leroy Thompson. I love you.
Where is he out of? What part of the state?
Leroy Thompson's from Knoxville. They were both Knoxville guys. In fact, when I got to campus, people were wearing Leroy bumper sticker, not buttons. Remember the buttons, Sean? Leroy that was my first fall on campus.
Yep.
But Cinco, what do you think of that kid? Because I've had a couple guys that are former Vols email me and say, have you seen this guy? And my reply is, no, I haven't, because I don't have the bandwidth to watch it, or really follow it. Sean, have you seen him, and what's your take on that kid?
I did watch a lot of the highlights, some of the game this past week against Macaulay. He's a fantastic running back. I think the couple problems there, though he plays at Baylor, I think he may even be Canadian.
He is. He's from Canada. That's what Jake just said.
I don't know that he's a Tennessee guy. So there's that. Private school. A lot of money there, a lot of different influences, a lot of different people talking. But also the thing that you have to consider is that Josh Heupel has taken 3- and 4-star running backs and led the conference in running.
Yep.
Over the past several years. So here's the play. When you're already an elite running program, are you going to dedicate, because he's going to come with a huge NIL number? Or what's the difference are you going to lead the conference by 12 yards per game when you're really leading them already by 8 yards per game? I think those are decisions. I'm not debating his value, but or his ability, but those decisions have to be made. The decision, Jacoby Thomas, it was an economic decision. Whether it was right or wrong, I don't know. But are you going to pay that kid $2.5-3 million to come to Tennessee when he might not, change the stats all that much? I don't know.
How about it? What do you think? Talk to me here, Jake in Memphis. What would you do?
Tony, you there?
I'm listening to you. Yeah, what kind of would you allocate? Because this kid's going to come. There is no doubt. When I hear some of the former players tell me, I've never seen anything like this guy on a high school football field. Like, this guy is generational. That means he's coming with a price tag, a huge price tag. So Sean's got a point. Do you
take a look at our last two guys that would fit in this category?
Yeah,
Bryce Brown, unquestionably the top running back in the country, if not the top player in the country.
Yes,
completely unproductive. Jalen Hurd, a nice back, a really good back, who then transferred and became a wide receiver at Baylor. In the NIL game, those guys would have commanded huge money.
Yeah, Brian mentioned Hurd. Yeah,
and so do you. Another thing is, if you, as good as that kid is, that is a highly vulnerable position. In the past 3 or 4 years, we've had a 3-man rotation of good backs. I wouldn't consider them great high school backs, but good backs.
What would Gerald Riggs Jr.?
I think, and in fact, am I not mistaken that 2 of those guys might have been SEC players of the year?
Yes.
Or offensive players of the year?
Yes, or touching that. Back to the phones we go. Last year's kid was for sure. W. Lynn, welcome in.
How are my French compatriots doing today?
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
This topic of the sugar balls brought back memories. I actually have the 1985 media guide in front of me, and I've been going through it the whole show. It's very interesting. I wrote a letter to the Metro Pulse in 2005 when they celebrated their 20th anniversary of winning the Sugar Bowl, and I titled it "They were us." They were the fans. They were us. And they were a combination of the past and the future. In the past, they had players that we could kind of relate to, like a Chris White, Ziegler, throwbacks almost. Reminded you maybe of a Dewey Warner or Bobby Scott team. But we had the future with T-Rob, Tim McGee, and you kind of saw where the future was going with speed, power. We had some powerful linemen, and it's maybe the last time Georgia was not number 2 on our list for states besides Tennessee. We had only 5 players from Georgia on that team. We had 11 from Florida, and we had 48 from Tennessee. And I added up all the 17 other states we had, and it came to 48. So exactly half our entire roster was Tennessee players. I'm not sure that's ever happened since.
Oh, I'm sure it's never happened since. I've done sight unseen. And, Sean pointed out, when you got guys like Chris White, who's from Cleveland or that area. Where's Chris White from, Sean? He's from that area, right? Down in that area somewhere. And then you've got Dale Jones, who definitely is from that area. These guys are, like W. Lynn says, those guys are you out there. They are straight up you.
I think I can name the team on defense. You had Brian Hunt, Marco Vanek, Robbie Scott on the defensive line. At linebacker, you had Dale Jones, Kelly Ziegler, Darren Miller. Cornerbacks, you had Victor Peppers, Andre Kramer.
Wow,
there was Chris White, Tommy Sims as a defensive back. On the offensive line, if I'm not mistaken, you had Todd Kirk at center. The guards were Big Fudd, we called him, Harry Galbraith and Bruce Wilkerson.
Yeah.
Tackles, you had David Douglas and Daryl Smith. Tony Robinson. You had Anthony Miller, Joey Clinkscales, Eric Swanson, Tim Hendricks was the tight end. Your running backs, I believe, were some combination of William Howard and Keith Davis, and there's one other guy. But how about that memory? That's how important that team was, and I can still rattle off the top 22.
Wow,
that's good, Sean. We also had Sam Henderson and Pete Panuska, and
Panuska
Tony,
from
I
New
wrote
Jersey,
down the ones I got to know, and I got to know a lot of them while they were in class because I just started working over there with Bud and Haywood. And in 1986, we won the Summer League Championship with the Gray Ghost. We beat the great Mike Rollo on the Lakers, and on my team we had Bob Jenkins,
let's go,
Marco Vanek,
let's go,
Tim Hendricks,
let's go,
Andre Kramer,
let's
and
go,
Kelly Ziegler.
Wow,
Woo! I also had started postgraduate studies, and I had a class with the great Dr. Finger, the history of American sports. And in my class was Todd Upton and Charles Davis. I got to know them.
Well, let me ask you, and W. Lynn, thank you, on our TLD Logistics phone line. Is Dr. Finger related to Dr. Schwetfinger, the noted Dennis Cinco who's put his fingers in the mouth of one Titans Bill? Any ideas?
No comment on that.
Do you remember?
No comment.
Do you remember Dr. Finger Cinco from school?
No, but I remember our team doctor was Dr. Rubright.
Dr. Rubright.
Spell that, if you pronounce the difference a little, Dr. Rubright, you read into that what you want.
Well, I remember Mr. Hand from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, along with Dr. Finger. So let's go back to the phones.
I remember Mr. Potato Head on the Penn State sideline the other day.
And where is Jerry Palm when you need him? But let's go back to the phones. I digress because I say that Arch Manning has been an Achilles heel for Texas, and nobody gives me credit for that, which I think is a great line. But let's go back to the phones, nonetheless.
Well, like what you said earlier is he fits right in there because he was hawking 5 different products while he was going down in that game to Florida.
Oh, that's unbelievable. And Joey reminds me in '66 he won a Summer League championship. So shout out to Joey on YouTube. Because look, this is a show where the other day, the caller Florida called in and shouted out a 10-year-old who apparently balled out in a game up a year, and the kid's name was Megatron. So talk about days.
Hey, I haven't heard that kind of stuff since the late great Jeeker was talking about 8-year-olds about to make the major leagues.
Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in.
What's up, boys?
Shout out Jeeker, the late great Jacardio, not in Indonesia, who I miss every day. What's up, Lee? How we doing, brother?
Hey, we're doing good, man. Hey, I don't follow high school recruiting at all anymore, but I did run across those highlights from that running back, man. I went and looked up some of his other stuff. I mean, yeah, I kind of want that dude, man. I know running backs are sort of interchangeable, but that guy's a freaking machine, man. Like, pretty sure that kid can probably play right now.
Oh, no. I had former players, like a couple guys, reach out to me and email me, like the guys I've never heard of. Hey, man, I was at the game on Friday. I don't know if you know this guy, TB, and I'm kind of like not playing it because I'm not playing it. But I hear you. I mean, when I hear people like you guys tell me this, I'm going to sit up and take notice.
Yeah, like I said, most of that stuff I don't really pay a lot of attention to. They all look, pretty good on tape. That's one that sticks out. It's like, yeah, you probably want that kid really, really bad. But anyway, I listened the last couple of days. I had a chance to call. The Nico Penn State stuff, man, is wild. I think that's the best game a college quarterback's played all single game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know where
where'd that come from? And they couldn't even get the plays into him, Lee. They couldn't even get the plays into him. Like, what in the hell? Like, if you're a Penn State fan, knowing what we know about that Knowles guy, how in the world do you explain that?
Well, I'll say this. I'm certainly not making excuses for Penn State. We've talked about this. We're like, you're a top 5 team. You're coming off of a loss to another top 5 team. Those are tough spots. You generally come out pretty flat. And traveling across the country. That being said, you still got to find a way to win the game. I think one of the big with UCLA completely changing their offense, like everything Penn State had seen on tape, they didn't see any of it in the first half. Knowles did make some adjustments. Like Nico was throwing all over him, and Nico only threw for like 8 yards in the second half. But he killed him with his legs. Like he used his legs and killed him. It's real similar to like when we went to in 22 when we went to South Carolina. Like they completely changed their offense. Everything we had practiced, like didn't see any of it. Everything they were doing was new. I don't know. I guess that's what makes college football fun. I thought Penn State was going to find a way to probably win the game, but I don't know what to say about Franklin, man. Like
he's awful. Hey, listen, when you block that kick, Lee, and you can't win that game against an outman team that got beat by 17 or whatever it was by that stupid New Mexico team, and you're him, and you let Nico run the ball down the field on you, I mean, what in the world? What in the world was that? And Nico looked unbelievable the other day, like unbelievable with his feet. Unbelievable.
Some of the scrambles were insane, man. I mean, I was glad for that whole team, for UCLA's whole team, because man, that team has taken so much abuse like the first month of the season. So good for those kids to have that moment. It was pretty cool.
Yep, I agree.
I don't know what Penn State does with Franklin. I mean, like this is the best team he's ever going to have. Like it's hard to say. It's not like they can fire him. I mean, he's not going to get fired. Even if they wanted to, that file's like $60 million or.
Yeah, they're not going to pop him. Yeah.
Just kind of looking at like the big picture. You were talking about earlier with Watson, like all these SEC teams, man, like 7, 8, 9 teams. Like I really don't think there's much difference in any of these teams. Like they are all really, really similar. They're all good teams, like solid, like quality teams, but I don't think there's much difference. And I think there's a couple of teams sitting at the top of the country that are kind of on a different tier with Ohio State, Miami, and Oregon. But the SEC teams, I don't think are anywhere as good as those teams are, to be honest. I heard some people were mentioning that Texas Tech team. Like, I'm kind of like on the. I kind of want to say that they're legit. Like they should really be up. Like they're legit, like top 5 team, like top 4 team.
Well, here's the thing about them, right? They get to their championship game and they lose, and they roll through their league unbeaten, like it looks like they're going to when you look at their schedule. And they lose in their championship game, all of a sudden that's a 2-bid league. Because you're going to have to account for them. Yeah, and that's the thing in that league and the ACC that could really inhibit somebody in this league. And as long as you got a 12-team playoff, which I like 12 teams, I think it creates tension over 16 teams. But I do think, this league right now is as balanced as it's ever been. Any of these teams outside of Arkansas and Tennessee, any of these teams this weekend, if you tell me one's going to beat the other, it's not going to shock me, Sean. Even South Carolina with LSU this weekend.
Totally agree, and I think the things that the rest of the country is just starting to learn is the cumulative pounding that the schedule gives you. That I mean, Ohio State and Oregon, if and when they play, if they have, whatever, they're going to be 100%.
Yep.
No team in the SEC at this point is 85%.
No doubt about it.
And it's relative because the other team in the SEC is 80. But you're talking about 85% of elite teams with elite talent. So it's just, I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you. I still think that if Brian was saying earlier about Alabama with this gauntlet they have, they could be fantastic, but it's too much. It's just too much pounding. And I appreciate what Florida did, and the people of Texas are finally starting to understand what Oklahoma went through last year.
No doubt about it. Anything else, Lee?
Yeah, I think Missouri is very lost. I think it's a terrible spot for Bama coming off Georgia games and game day with Vandy last week, and like they wanted to get their revenge. Now they're going on the road to Missouri the week before they play Tennessee. I think Missouri is a really good spot. I think Auburn's in a really good spot at home this week. Like these SEC teams are going to take their losses, man. I just don't think there's a whole lot of difference in them.
Well, Lee, how are they going to sort them out at the end of the year? That's what I want to say. How are you going to be able to sort these teams out when the time comes, and then everybody's going to be arguing over who played a tougher schedule. We're all sitting there with the same record. There could be a bunch of 10-2 or even 9-3 teams at the end of this year before it's over, man.
I think so too. Like, honestly, but the way it sets up, and it's hard as anything to try to predict this. I don't think any of these teams are really separated by more than like four points. To be honest,
yeah.
A&M is. I think if Missouri can win this week, they're set up really, really well with their schedule, and I think A&M is set up really, really well. You know, all of a sudden those two road games at LSU and at Texas look a whole lot more winnable for them. And I think those two teams are set up really. Now I'll say that they could lose the next two games they play.
Sure, yeah.
I just think that this league, I don't know how you're going to be able to separate them because, like I said, they're all going to be separated by like 4 points and like a power rating. Like their strength of schedules aren't going to be all that much different. I mean, you're going to have like Tennessee and Missouri are probably at the bottom as far as easiest, and then you're going to have a couple at the top. But I don't know. It's fun. I don't think any SEC team's getting a bye in the playoff. I just don't see that happening.
Wow, that's interesting.
But, you know, I think they're going to have too many losses. I think, you know.
Yeah, there is some shocking stuff coming, Lee. There's no question. Some fan bases are in for some real surprises here down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, we're not even halfway through this thing, so I mean, I'm excited for it, man. That's just so much more fun, like the way it's set up now,
yes,
as opposed to like it feels like the last like 10, 15 years where there's like one or two teams at the top. You just kind of it's a foregone conclusion, you know, just kind of going to go to Atlanta and win it. So yeah, this is a blast. Like it's so much more fun this way, but.
It's a better sport now, Lee. Thank you. As he appears on our TLD Logistics phone lines, which will reopen when we come back. You know, shout out to that 85 Tennessee team. I'm looking at Miami's roster that year. I knew Miami had a great team in 85. You talk about
it was an NFL team.
You talk about an unbelievable football team that Tennessee went out there and beat 35-7. That'll never be forgotten by the living fan. That game is the reason I'm here. That game and the living God. But that's the reason I'm here. Because that was where I looked at it and said, you know, things aren't going well for me, and I need a change. And there it is. Look at it. Look at that. That spoke to me that night. That's a true story. So we continue. I'm getting choked up as we continue with more after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, If you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we're the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our trials last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
I might be fired up, focused, and prepared for you today. And I might be pumped. I think on both those things. If you want to get in, 865-200-5402. Tomorrow on the show, C. Matt, Brian, and I are going to do a special third hour where we're going to take apart where the playoff chases are from a Tennessee perspective and what some of the key teams to root for and root against are. And C's really spent a bunch of time on this. And, I mean, he's kind of a maniac when he puts his mind to it. Speaking of maniac behavior, what about and we're also going to have our We Ship Floors Tennessee Hardwood report tomorrow, WeShipFloors.com. In the blog of record tomorrow at tclub.team. It's going to be unbelievable, Andy, that report. I mean, some of the stuff that I've learned about our basketball program and just projecting how the season's going to go, some of the key battles for playing time, etc., what the rotation's going to look like, etc. This is kind of unfortunate here, but this is Arkansas running back Mike Washington, courtesy of.
It's going to be a lot of holes in their defense, so it's going to be a fun game. They have a great defense, but a lot of holes, so it's going to be a lot of holes in their defense, so it's going to be a fun game. They have a great defense, but a lot of holes, so it's going to be a lot of holes in their defense, so it's going to be a fun game. They have a great defense, but a lot of holes, so it's going to be a lot of holes in their defense, so it's going to be a fun game.
Sean, do you think that? I let it play like 4 times. Courtesy Zach Reagan, A to Z. And those guys have been good to me down through the years. They always attribute things. So, Zach, that's a good clip by you over on the X machine. Cinco, what do you make of this running back Mike Washington running his mouth? One more time, let's hear it.
It's going to be a fun game. They have a great defense, but a lot of holes, so it's going to be a lot of holes in their defense, so it's going to be a fun game.
And again,
they have a great defense, but a lot of holes, so it's going to be a lot of holes in their defense, so it's going to be a fun game.
What about him talking trash like that, Cinco? A lot of holes in their defense. And what do you think he's talking about, Sean? And then we go to the phones.
Well, he's not wrong, but it's incredibly stupid to say something like that. I mean, at least we have a defense. I don't know what he's talking about.
Has he seen his own team's defense?
Brian, What do you make of that, Brian?
He's Tennessee's defense ranks 30th in the country in yards per play and 20th in yards per rush. So maybe he just bit off more than he can chew.
Where are we in points per game? I don't think we're covered in glory in that deal.
This is something I got that off Fox Sports Knoxville, so they had a tweet about it.
Matt's got our rankings 2 blogs ago, Brian, if you want to go find it. But Matt did a nice, great report on our team stats, and some of those I was surprised in, and then some not so much. But let's go back to our phones. 865-200-5402. Apparently that back is going to be in this weekend visiting with his family from Canada, Cinco. So let's get fired up, focused, and prepared for that.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, last week, the offense gave Mississippi State the ball in the, in our minus territory.
Yes.
I mean, I think they scored 2 touchdowns on interceptions. So I'm not so sure that I'm. I mean, is the defense what it was last year? No. Have we had some injuries? I think so. But still, they've got, I think they'll show up. I'm not happy about the quarterback because I think we've always struggled with those type of quarterbacks.
Yes.
But we don't give them the ball. I think we'll be fine. I think there's every bit of chance we cover in this game.
My thing is you don't sleepwalk through it, which I don't think this team will. They haven't with Heupel. There's only been a couple of occasions during his tenure here that they've sleptwalked through games. But let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You are on our Wednesday transmission.
Hey, Tony.
Yo.
Catfish Ike here, people.
Hey, Ikey.
Hey, I love when you have the Watson Brown Wednesday going on. Love it.
He's a man, dude.
Love listening to him. He was talking about something, I think it might have been last week, about that Mississippi State game there at the end, talking about, the time management of Heupel, and said he believed that was planned, done on purpose, I should say. And I don't know about all that. I had listened to Hype on his press conference, and he said that he more or less kind of had a game plan going, but one of the plays, I think Joey Football had the ball and kept it a little bit longer than he expected to. So I guess he kind of just went with it. But I kind of wished he would have done a little bit different on that. But I don't know what kind of game plan he had, but it definitely didn't go the way he wanted it to. And it kind of makes me wonder. He does this hiring analysts, like he does with offense and different parts of on the team. And I'm thinking, well, maybe Heupel might need a little help on coaching on certain situations when it comes to that, because some stuff I noticed, he seems to make mistakes. I know they're entitled to have their mistakes, and that situation can be a little bit, nerve-wracking anyway, if it being at the end of the game like that, and trying to, get things going and stuff.
Well,
and,
to your point, I think if it's one thing to do that and win a game.
Yeah.
If they would have lost, if the Tennessee loses that game, we're talking about that game for 20 years.
Oh yeah.
Because that looked like absolutely silly clock management. Yeah. And Watson's thing is he did exactly what he wanted to do. He said, "Now I don't know why he did what he did." He said he obviously has his reasons. He said, but he did not just let the clock run out. He said that's just not what happened. And you know what? Right. I mean, who knows what the reason is? Is it that he didn't want that kicker in that spot? And my thing is, if you don't want the kicker in that spot, then you've got to get a new kicker during your off week. I mean, that would be my reply to that.
Well, that's what I was thinking. With the kid being young and all, he might want to maybe get a different kicker or something to work with. So, I'm just a couch coach. I know I'm not in that situation. It's easier to look at it on TV than be in that situation. But I like Heupel. I do. I like what he does. Some of the stuff I might disagree with, but I love what he does. But I'd still like to see Boo get in on the action offense. Still ain't seen that, and I'd love to see that come into play too. But that may not happen. Who knows?
Well, I think Boo made his deal back in the summer.
Yeah.
If he would have stayed here, I think they would have run stuff for him offensively.
Well, I kind of thought about that too. I thought if he had done things differently, showed up, maybe they would have gotten him in. So I guess in a way that's more like his punishment, not letting him do it, So maybe that's it. So
well, either that or when we were installing that stuff, you weren't here and you chose not to be here. I don't know if it's punishment as much as part of me also says though that we overcomplicate this stuff when you think about how this Neuheisel guy just completely changed their offense. Yeah. What would be the harm in sticking Boo Carter out there, running him in motion and flipping a football to him? That does not seem like it would take that much scheming, but maybe I'm naive, Cinco. I do understand Tennessee does not substitute offensively and they want to go fast. So if you put him out there, you got to put him out there for a series. But all rules have exceptions. And even that rule could have an exception. You could still bring him out, flip him the ball, or even in one of these games, bring him out and fake like you're going to flip him a ball and use him as a decoy.
Yeah, that's no doubt, and that's what be kind of neat to see if they have something kind of special for him, But like I say, it's hard to say if we'll see that or not. But another thing, Tony, how about them Broncos, baby?
There you go. How about them Broncos? Which which was a winner for our winners and losers program. One of the power plays that they insisted for us, which we'll be dropping another one of those tomorrow evening over on YouTube and across our platforms. Check for it. But how about them Broncos? Solid game by them. My Eagles were living on borrowed time and have been, and one thing's for sure, man, in that league, you're not going to win them all. And when you're on borrowed time in that league, you're going to borrow some time. How about Brian Hartman's Jacksonville Jaguars? Speaking of one of the great stories in the early going of the NFL, Bri. Y'all are on top of the world right now, Bri. On top of the world, looking down on creation, Bri.
Didn't mention it, but Sean, sorry about that. The Jags took advantage of the Chiefs the other night, but
No, congratulations to your Jaguars. They deserved it. My Chiefs are aging out.
Yeah.
And
that's okay.
I still think they're a solid playoff team and will be in the playoffs this year, but I would never count them out when you got Mahomes back there. But they'll have to retool around him for sure. But I like the way the Jags have come out, and they've gotten to the point where I think their coach, think about this, Liam Cohen was on Kentucky's football staff 2 years ago.
Yep.
Don't they wish they could have a do-over and say, hey, Stoops, we got to put you in the head coach's seat.
No, not up there, because Stoops won himself another MAC championship this year after this.
Are you stuck in a dead-end job or ready for a new challenge? Do you feel like it's time to try a new career? Well, it's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. My friends at TLD Logistics have some really exciting opportunities for you to learn a new skill. With a new 5-acre driving academy that's now under new leadership with all new course material. And the best part, it's absolutely free. What a great deal to set you on the road to higher pay. And TLD Logistics even offers weekly stipends to offset food and gas expenses. In 6 weeks,